Welcome to EtherLink AI Insights. I'm Alex, and today we're tackling a topic that's become impossible to ignore for enterprise leaders across Europe: AI governance and readiness heading into 2026. Sam, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Alex. This is genuinely critical timing. The EU AI Act isn't theoretical anymore, it's law, and we're looking at full enforcement in just over a year. Most European enterprises still aren't ready for it.
That's a sobering point. I saw in the data that 67% of European enterprises lack formal AI governance frameworks. That's a massive gap. Why do you think that number is so high?
Because governance has traditionally been seen as a cost center, not a competitive advantage. Boards have been focused on extracting value from AI, chatbots, automation, analytics, without building the guardrails first. It's like building at scale without building to code. Now the EU is enforcing the code and companies are scrambling.
So the stakes are real. We're talking potential fines up to 30 million euros, or 6% of global revenue for violations. But it's not just financial risk, right?
Absolutely not. Financial penalties are just the headline. The deeper risks are operational disruption. Systems you've deployed without proper risk assessment might need to be retrofitted or shut down, and competitive disadvantage. Companies that embrace governance as a strategic enabler, not a burden, will move faster and deploy AI more confidently than their laggards.
That's fascinating because it flips the narrative. Governance becomes a feature, not a friction. Let's dig into what we mean by maturity in this context. Can you walk us through the maturity model?
Sure. Think of AI governance maturity as a 5-level ladder. At level 1, you're basically ad hoc. No formal processes, AI projects scattered across the organization. Compliance is an afterthought. Level 2 brings some basic policies, but they're inconsistently applied. By level 3, you've got standardized processes, formal risk assessments, approval workflows with audit trails.
So level 3 sounds like we've got our act together?
It's solid, yeah, but levels 4 and 5 are where the magic happens. Level 4 means continuous monitoring, real-time risk metrics embedded in your KPIs, and governance actively shaping your AI strategy. Level 5 is autonomous. Agentic systems deployed with integrated oversight, constantly learning and adapting their own governance.
Agentic AI. That's a term we're hearing everywhere. What makes agentic systems different from regular AI in terms of governance needs?
Great question. Traditional AI systems are largely supervised. Humans feed them inputs, they produce outputs, humans review and approve. Agentic AI is autonomous. It takes action, makes decisions, iterates without constant human intervention. That means your governance framework needs to handle real-time decision-making, which is way more complex than auditing a batch process after the fact.
And the data shows adoption of these agentic systems is accelerating significantly?
3 times faster than traditional automation, according to Forrester. Enterprises are racing to deploy them because the productivity gains are substantial. But if you don't have mature governance in place, you're essentially letting these systems loose in your organization with minimal oversight. That's a recipe for regulatory and reputational disaster.
So where does an enterprise actually start if they're at level 1 or 2 right now? That's probably a lot of European organizations.
First, assess where you actually are. Look at existing AI projects, document them, identify risks, check for compliance gaps. That's your baseline. Then build a governance framework aligned with standards like NIST or ISO 42001. You need executive sponsorship, clear policies, roles like an AI lead architect to coordinate across teams, and most importantly, transparency about risk.
That's a lot of moving parts. What's the sequencing? Do you start with policy first, or do you start with an audit?
I'd recommend audit first. Understand your current state and your actual risk surface. Then policy. You can't write governance frameworks in the abstract. You need to know what systems you're governing, what data they touch, and who's affected by their decisions. Once you've mapped that, policy becomes practical, not theoretical.
That makes sense. And the timeline. How much time do enterprises realistically have to move up the maturity ladder?
Technically, the act's in effect now, with some enforcement grace periods, but full compliance deadlines are 2026. So if you're starting from scratch, you've got maybe 14 months to reach Level 3 governance, which is the minimum for defensible compliance. Level 4 is ideal but takes longer to operationalize. The organizations that act now will have runway, those that wait will be playing catch-up under pressure.
That urgency is palpable. Let's talk about what success looks like. If a European enterprise gets this right, what are the tangible benefits beyond avoiding penalties?
Speed and trust. Companies with mature AI governance can deploy new AI applications faster because they've already built the approval infrastructure and risk models. They also build customer and stakeholder trust. When you can explain how your AI system works and how it's monitored, that's a massive differentiator. And internally, you attract better talent. People want to work for organizations that use AI responsibly.
So it's not just compliance, it's competitive positioning. That's a frame shift.
Exactly. The enterprises that view governance as a strategic advantage, not a compliance checkbox, will dominate their markets by 2026. They'll be able to experiment, learn, and scale AI faster than competitors bogged down in reactive governance or legal risk.
Final question for our listeners. If they're hearing this and thinking, we're behind, what's the first thing they should do this week?
Schedule a governance readiness workshop with your leadership team. Map your existing AI initiatives, identify your highest risk systems, and commit to a maturity assessment. Don't overthink it. Get data, get clear-eyed about where you stand, and then build a 12-month roadmap to Level 3 compliance. That clarity and commitment will set you apart.
Solid advice. Sam, thanks for breaking this down. For our listeners who want deeper frameworks, specific governance templates, and more on the EU AI Act requirements, head over to etherlink.ai and find the full article. We've also got resources through EtherMind, our AI consultancy division, if you want strategic guidance on your organization's readiness. Thanks for joining us on EtherLink AI Insights.
Thanks for having me, Alex. 2026 is coming fast. Start now.